on air. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to our final summer concert of the summer series with the Piqua Civic Band, saluting John Williams. If you are able, please rise for the presentation of the colors, followed by the playing of our national anthem. Well, once again, good evening. Welcome to PCIS for our concert saluting John Williams. I'm going to get some brief biographical data out of the way here early in the concert. But first, I want to talk about that piece. That was a prologue from a movie called Hook. It was directed by Steven Spielberg, who is a longtime collaborator with John Williams on his scores. To show you how closely they worked together, between 1985 and 2015, Spielberg didn't make a movie that wasn't scored by John Williams. Okay, so yeah, they worked that closely together. So John Towner Williams was born in Queens in New York and basically spent his life flitting back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast. Going back and forth, he went to LA because his parents moved there, studied at UCLA. He started playing with some of these studio orchestras, moved to New York where he studied at Juilliard, and then played in some clubs there, and went back to Hollywood, and the rest is history. When he moved back there, he was playing with those studio orchestras. Somebody said, hey, I don't have time to score this thing I'm writing for this movie. Would you orchestrate it? And so he started orchestrating, and that led to composing, and that led to a bunch of nominations and some wins. So, for example, he has been nominated nominated 52 times for Oscars. He has won 5, which is a shame. He has 3 Emmy wins, 4 Golden Globes, 25 Grammys, and 7 BAFTAs. So he's done pretty well for himself. Yeah. So we're going to be playing for you a lot of his music tonight. I wish I could say we're going to play every John Williams song you've ever heard that you love. We only have an hour and a little bit. So we won't get to everything, but we hope you enjoy hearing some familiar favorites and maybe some things you didn't know by John Williams. Our next piece is one that everybody knows because it's been used since 1984 for the Olympics, no matter what channel is broadcasting it. And so when Williams wrote this piece, at that time there was another fanfare that was very well associated with the Olympics that ABC had been using. He was very hesitant to write something new, but the other one is used occasionally, but John Williams' music is the one that's lasted. So this is the Olympic fanfare and theme written for the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. It's fair to say that the Jurassic Park series has been a phenomenal hit. Over the course of the last 30 years, they produced 6 films, 3 in the original Jurassic Park trilogy, and then 3 more in the Jurassic World trilogy. Steven Spielberg stuck around to do the first 2, and John Williams stuck with him, and after that, other people took over. Take that for what you will, if you've seen the movies. But the music from Jurassic Park is one of John Williams' best scores. We're going to present for you now 2 of the major themes from the original Jurassic Park from 1993. How many of you have seen the Home Alone films, or at least the first one? Okay. All right, several times. So again, this was one that I had no idea Williams had written this song for Home Alone until I was putting this concert together. But it's one of those surprise pieces that not a lot of people realize is by him. Somewhere in my memory it was used in the original Home Alone, and then it was reprised in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And beyond that, I think people lost interest. But this song is a beautiful Christmas carol that is very melancholy, but also uplifting at the same time. He wrote this with Leslie Bricusse, who did the lyrics, and it should have won the Oscar for Best Original Song, and it lost out to a song called Sooner or Later by a guy named Stephen Sondheim. So, yeah, you're gonna lose. All right, so here's Somewhere in My Memory from Home Alone. It's time to get out your winning lucky ticket from your pocket that you got when you came in the door. Again, we want to say thank you to Susie's, Big Dipper, and Albrecht's Grocery for providing our giveaways each week again this summer. So we're going to draw for the ice cream first from Susie's. And the ticket number is 530. What? From 529 every concert, right? Okay, we finally broke the neck right. 530011. Right down there, all right. All right, and drawing for the donuts from Albrecht's. number 529996. Front row, all right. Once again, we want to say a very special thank you to Susie's and to Ulrich for providing those giveaways each concert this summer. So next up is a piece called John Williams Symphonic Soundtracks. And in this you're going to hear one familiar tune and two that you probably have never heard before, but they're fantastic. The one you're all going to know is the first section, which is from Harry Potter. John Williams composed the music for the first 3 Harry Potter films and then turned the reins over to a series of composers after that, but they all found ways to incorporate his themes into those remaining movies. You're also going to hear in this arrangement music from the 2001 film called AI, Artificial Intelligence, which is set in the future about a childlike android who's learned how to love. And then finally we're closing out this medley with music from The Patriot, which was a movie that starred Mel Gibson, sort of loosely based on the life of Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, and a couple of others. But again, nice Revolutionary War style music from John Williams on this. This is John Williams Symphonic Soundtracks. Schindler's List is a masterpiece. There's no other way to put it. It is about one man's mission to save as many Jews from the Holocaust as he could. It is based on a true story. And the story goes that this is how this score came about. So what John Williams and Steven Spielberg would do is when Spielberg had a movie, he would invite Williams to a screening, okay, before any music was written, and they would sit and watch the movie all the way through with no music. Then they'd go have lunch, and then they would come back, and they would talk about what the music should be. So on this occasion, Williams and Spielberg watched the movie. Afterwards, Spielberg stood up, and Williams said, I need to be alone for a little bit. So he went for a walk. He walked around the studio. He came back a couple hours later. He looked at Steven Spielberg and said, Steven, I can't write this. He said, you need a better composer than me to write this music. To which Spielberg says, I know. But they're all dead. So, and the rest is history. We are very, very lucky to have a fantastic violinist here to play this for us this evening. Would you please welcome to the stage Ms. Denise Carter. so we couldn't do an entire concert of John Williams. We felt we needed to interject something different into the program, but yet not that different. Our next arrangement is called Music for a Darkened Theater, and all of the pieces that are in this arrangement are by a man named Danny Elfman. Elfman is basically 1.5 generations removed from Williams's generation, but their trajectory to becoming film composers were sort of similar. Again, it was a case of they both played in clubs when they were young. The difference is John Williams was in jazz clubs, and Danny Elfman was the lead singer for an 80s progressive rock band called Oingo Boingo. They both studied orchestration, and they both scored 2 very major superhero films. John Williams was Superman, and in 1989, Danny Elfman, Batman. So in this arrangement, you're going to hear a lot of pieces, and you may say, you know, some of that sounds kind of like John Williams. And that's because Elfman is actually a very big fan of Williams's music. But he also composes in the same style as Williams does a lot. It's what we call neo-romanticism, inspired by the composers of the 19th century. Although perhaps, I was reading today, someone suggested Elfman is more hearing that through Williams's generation, sort of like a second generation hearing that music and then adapting that style. So in this arrangement, you're going to hear the theme from the television show Tales from the Crypt, Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, and the Tobey Maguire 2001 Spider-Man movie. This is Music for a Darkened Theater. Well, as I said, this is our final concert of the summer season. And as always with the final concert, we have a lot of thank yous to make. And so I'm going to run through this list, and I want to offer a heartfelt thank you to all of these people that I'm about to mention. I'm going to start first and foremost with our sponsors. Each week I've been talking about them. They're in the center of your program. They help keep this going up here on stage. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So I want to say again, thank you to all those individuals, those organizations, those corporations who have given to keep the music going here live in Piqua. I am very, very happy to see so many of you here tonight. This is the largest audience we've had all summer. I wish we were here next week. It might be bigger even, you know. But we will be coming back. Our next concert is in December, our Christmas concert. More details to follow, but it's the first Sunday in December. So again, thank you to all of those sponsors for helping us keep this going. I want to thank the members of our board. We have a board of directors for the band. So if you would just kind of wave when I call your name. Our president is Tammy Tennyson. Our vice president, Mary Alice Newbar. Our band manager, Chris Mingus. Our treasurer back there, Dick Alberts. And then our at-large board members, Randy Heron is not here this evening, but Jim Vetter, and John Milhouse, and Annie Schultz. We have had a wonderful place to play for 3 concerts this summer, and that's right here. And that didn't just happen. We worked very closely with Piqua City Schools. We want to thank Dwayne Thompson, the superintendent, Heath Butler, who's the principal here, Emily Schaller at the board office, and then, of course, the band staff for Piqua City Schools, Mitch Mahaney, Wyatt Hines, and then Tom Westfall, for allowing us to use this space. I think you agree this is a fantastic place for a concert. Granted, we really wish we were about 2.5 miles that way, but we're here. So thank you to them. Standing in the back there is AJ Ganger from Indian Nation Station. He's been videoing our concerts and putting them out on their channel and sharing them. Thank you very much, AJ, for doing that. We want to thank, from the city of Piqua, we want to thank Brittany Van Horn, who is the events coordinator. She helped set us up for 4th of July. And then likewise, Lady Braden, who is the facilitator who runs the Banquet and Conference Center, for getting us in there to practice and then being able to perform indoors on the 4th of July, not outside in the 95-degree weather. So thank you very much to them. Two weeks ago, we performed downtown on the plaza as part of Main Street Piqua's Third Thursday event. And Laura Swisher was fantastic again to work with. She got us set up where we needed to be, got us power for the system so that you could actually hear what I was saying. So that was great. So again, thank you, Lorna, and thank you, Main Street, for having us be involved in that. So there are a lot of people who work behind the scenes that you don't see necessarily. You see the band, you see me up here, but 4-Star Tool Rental. You know, we play the parade every year for Memorial Day. That trailer that we ride on, 4-Star, not only stores that for us, but also they drive it for us in the parade. And that's Matt Levy, so we want to say thank you to him. All of the equipment that we have gets stored in the off-season, and we have for decades been very appreciative of the Carl Zimmerman family, who allow us to use their space, even today, to store this in the off-season. So thank you very much. The Hands Music Library resides currently at the Piqua Public Library. We lost a dear friend this year in Gary Meek. Gary was wonderful to work with. I could walk in, just say, I'm going up to the 3rd floor to get stuff. You go, all right, just go get it, and then you come back. Yeah, so we're really going to miss him, and also Jim Oda, who's retired from the library. We're going to miss him as well. But they are still the keepers of the music, so we check it out from them, and we thank them for keeping that music here locally in town for the band to use. We also borrow music from other bands. So I want to thank Kathy McIntosh, she's actually playing horn tonight with the Troy Community Band. And then Greenville, J.R. Price, the director over there, lets us borrow music. So some of the tunes you've heard over the course of the season have come from their libraries. But most of all, I want to thank you, the audience. Because without an audience, there's no point in us standing up here or sitting up here and playing. So thank you for coming and supporting us this summer. I think I got everything. Did I miss anything? I'm not thanking myself. Okay. I did miss somebody. The Scouts. Troop 295, 5295, who have been at every concert doing the flag presentation. I think, that's so important for them to participate in doing, but it's a service to their community. So let's thank them. All right, so we just had Danny Elfman with his music for a darkened theater. Well, Williams can do dark too. All right, so we've got Chillers and Thrillers by John Williams. I bet you can already figure out one song that's going to come up in this. But in this arrangement, we're going to get a lot of dark and foreboding music. The first one is a delight that I did not know until recently. Anybody ever seen The Witches of Eastwick? Jack Nicholson? Yeah, so this will start with the Devil's Dance from The Witches of Eastwick, which is really cool. The theme from Jaws. Theme from Dracula. Ooh. Watch out for sharks, huh? All right. The theme from Dracula, a not-so-successful Dracula movie from 1979. Escape from the City from The War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise version that was out recently. The Face of Voldemort from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And then The Imperial March from The Empire Strikes Back. These are chillers and thrillers. In 1998, Steven Spielberg directed a film called Saving Private Ryan. And again, brought Williams in to take a look at the movie, and they discussed it, and as they discussed, Williams said, you know, for the battle scenes, I don't think there should be any music. He said, let me focus instead on the emotion of the soldiers after and before the battle. And that's what he did. The music is very emotional in the film. And this particular piece, the Hymn to the Fallen, has been sort of excised from the film and used a lot for concerts around 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. It even gets airplay sometimes on the radio at those times as well. And rightly so. It's a beautiful tribute to those who gave their lives in service to this country. So this is Hymn to the Fallen from Saving Private Ryan. John Williams swings. And he certainly does. In his early days playing in those jazz clubs, he took on his dad's name. His dad was also a jazz musician playing in clubs. And so he composed and performed under the name of Johnny Williams back in those days. Actually recorded a couple of albums under that name as well, back in the 1950s and 1960s. In this John Williams Swings piece, you're going to hear music from 3 different films. The first of which you all know, and that is the Cantina Band from Star Wars. The second one you may not be as familiar with. Steven Spielberg, when he asked John Williams to compose this movie, didn't know what he was going to get. This was their 20th film together, and Williams kind of kept him in the dark until it was time to record. And the score for Catch Me If You Can is this jazzy 1950s John Coltrane sounding score that doesn't sound anything like John Williams, at least not the John Williams that we know. And we're going to feature in that section a couple of people in the band. You see Danny's already up here because he gets to play all the way through, but Danny Elam is going to be playing the vibraphone, and then Zach Greenwald is going to be soloing on saxophone in that section. And then we close it out with a piece of music that should sound vaguely familiar, but it's not the tune you think. This is Swing, 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 not Sing, Sing, Sing. Okay? Swing, Swing, Swing comes from the really early bomb in Steven Spielberg's canon of films called 1941, because he and he alone, all his friends said, don't make this movie, but he and he alone thought that a comedy about the Japanese invading the day after December 7th in LA would be funny. Spoiler alert, it's not. Okay? So we're going to hear Cantina Band, Catch Me If You Can, and Swing, Swing, Swing. This is John Williams Swings. Once again, thank you so much for coming out this evening. Our next concert, as I mentioned before, is on Sunday, December the 4th. It'll be at Westminster Church here in Piqua. And we, again, would love to have you come and join us for that. We'll put word out on the website, on our Facebook page, and other places so that you have details of time and who our soloists will be for that concert as well. I just want to say thank you also to the band, because this season has been a delight. They have played so well, and I have put in front of them more difficult music in a season than I think I've ever done before, and they have risen to the occasion. So give them a round of applause. The Stars and Stripes Forever.